Once again, we are back with the Premier League predictions. This time we're going over Game Week 16 Premier League predictions. And we got some bangers in this one because the standouts for these matches or this game week are gonna be Man City versus Crystal Palace and Liverpool versus Brighton. So let's get right into the video. Hopefully you do enjoy the video. Drop a like if you do. Moving on to Chelsea versus Everton. First off, genuinely this could be quite a tight game, so let's get started with Chelsea. It's looking alright for them, I mean you could say, but they were in the title race actually a few weeks ago, but after that 3-1 loss versus Leeds a week ago, I think they're out of the title race. They were missing key players like Caicedo. He is so important. Pedro Neto came on for Esteval and he scored a goal. Pedro Neto has been scoring at quite a decent rate, honestly, almost every single game. Apart from that, there was no real threat in that game against the Leeds. That's actually crazy to say. On to Everton, they've been very impressive this season. At the moment, they're sitting in 7th place in the league. Honestly, they've been quite good in terms of form recently as well. Like last game, they played Nottingham Forest and they won 3-0 quite convincingly. Dewsbury Hall was really turning up. It's been so good for the side, both creatively and getting involved with assists and goals as well. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Everton. Moving on to Liverpool versus Brighton, this is going to be a super interesting game, so let's get started with Liverpool. It has been quite a horrible season for them, honestly, for their standards. Yeah, it's been pretty bad. They have not been in the best form as well. Currently they're sitting in 10th place. I've not seen Liverpool sit in that place in the table for quite a long time, honestly. Also, we have the Salah situation happening between him and Slot. It's an absolute mess all around at Liverpool. It's crazy. Last game they actually played Leeds and they drew 3-3. It was an insane game. Liverpool were 2-0 up and they choked a 2-0 lead and they ended up getting 1 point out of that game. Now on to Brighton, they've been very impressive this season. One of my most favorite teams to watch in terms of just playing pure nice football. Now last time I checked they were in 6th place, but now they're in 8th place. Currently the form has been a little bit off. Last game they played West Ham and they drew 1-1. Honestly, I think they were the better side in my opinion than West Ham, but Areola for West Ham just had a absolute masterclass in goal. He was having an incredible game. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Brighton. Moving on to Burnley versus Fulham, this one could end up quite tight. So let's get started with Burnley. They have been doing not the best so far. Actually, it's just been pretty poor performances from them recently. Last game they played Newcastle and they lost 2-1. I gotta mention Burnley, they did get a red card as well. Bruno Guimaraes literally scored a direct free kick on Burnley's head. That's unbelievable. I've never seen a direct free kick apart from Thierry Henry scored one and I believe Beckham scored one, both of them being in the MLS. It's not looking too good for Burnley at the moment. On to Fulham, they've been doing not the best this season as well. Recently though, their form has been getting better and better, so it's a huge positive for the side. Actually playing some pretty clean football as well. Like in their last game against Tottenham, they played pretty good in my opinion. They played Tottenham and they beat them 2-1. Harry Wilson scoring a absolute beauty of a Trivela goal. They will for sure take that form into this game against Burnley, and I want to say Chukwueze is a player that has really caught my eye. With his pace, he's absolutely rapid, and his dribbling is one of his most outstanding traits. He could dribble past like 3 or 4 players. It's crazy. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Fulham. Moving on to Arsenal versus Wolves, there's no way Arsenal lose this game, surely. So let's get started with Arsenal. They have been arguably the best team in the league. Very strong defensive team when Gabriel and Saliba are playing, but without them we do look a little bit shaky and uneasy at the back. We still sit top of the league though, which is a positive, but the gap has just got even tighter. Like last game we played Aston Villa and we lost 2-1. Last minute to a Buendia goal, which now that game caused us to be 2 or 3 points ahead of Man City in second place. So we kind of sold in that match, man. If this is the difference maker in our season, I'm gonna be fuming at the end of the season. But first off, Nkapi should have cleared the ball instead of just putting it out for a throw, and that kind of caused us to concede that goal from Buendia. A lot of the players do look tired, so I think we have to rotate in this game against Wolves. Now onto Wolves, they've been absolutely horrific this season, sitting all the way dead last. They just played United. Going both ways, Wolves look absolutely horrible. Like, genuinely, defensively, they have conceded 33 goals in 15 matches. Offensively, I've only scored 8 goals, which is super poor. I swear, every team in the table has scored at least 20 goals. That's horrific. 8 goals in like 15 matches. Yikes. So in my opinion, Rob Edwards has to change something up because he's playing a 5-back. Still, I mean, obviously you want to defend well, but offensively you have options, but you gotta change something up if it's not working. Now my prediction is gonna be a 4-0 win for Arsenal. Moving on to Crystal Palace versus Man City. This game is gonna be a super good one, so let's get started with Crystal Palace. They have been super good this season, honestly. Palace have just jumped into the top 4 after their most recent win. Like last game they played Fulham and they won 2-1, and Nketiah scoring a very beautiful low drilled shot, and then Guehi of course scoring a header to win them the game. Guehi has really contributed a lot in terms of goals and assists. Coming from a center back is outstanding. Now Glasner, he's really taking this club far. Like, check it out, they're in the Europa League, top 4 in the Premier League right now. They won the FA Cup. It's just unbelievable what he's done at this club. Now on to Man City. They're looking quite good this season. City are in the title race with Arsenal and Aston Villa. If you told me that a few months ago, I wouldn't believe that Aston Villa would be in a title race. Arsenal dropped points versus Aston Villa, so City now have a closer gap, and at the moment Man City are sitting second place right behind Arsenal. And last game they played Sunderland, which I consider a pretty underrated team, and they won 3-0. I thought it was going to be a tougher game, but City managed that game very well, and Ruben Diaz scored an absolute rocket. Kind of reminded me of a Company type of goal. It was like, what, 30 yards out or something, just full on bang the top right corner. Unreal goal. But Foden, he's been coming into his form as well. He's looking like his old self, scoring goals, assisting goals, creating as well. I swear, if Arsenal somehow choke the league, I'm gonna be fuming. But my prediction is gonna be a 2-1 win for Man City. Moving on to Sunderland versus Newcastle now. This will be yet another tight game, so let's get started with Sunderland. They've been doing not too bad this season, especially for a newly promoted side. I think it's pretty impressive. At the moment they do sit in 9th place, which isn't bad as well. Last game they played Man City, as I mentioned before, and they lost 3-0. They did get a red card that game, so I think that kind of changed the game and gave City more control in the match. But their form has been a little bit on and off recently, but I'm sure they will regain their form and go again. Now on to Newcastle. They've been doing not too bad as well. Their performances as of recent have been getting better. A lot better actually. They've been getting the results they need. Last game they played Burnley and they won 2-1. As I mentioned before, Bruno Guimaraes scored directly from a corner kick, which is insane. He has so much passion for the club. It's unbelievable. It's great to see. This is a very good side which will hit you on the counter or in transition. So my prediction is going to be a 3-2 win for Newcastle. Moving on to Nottingham Forest versus Tottenham. This game should be yet another good one. So let's get started with Nottingham Forest. They have been doing honestly not the best this season. Their form has been a little bit on and off as of recent. Like at the moment they're sitting on the edge of the relegation zone in 17th place, not 7th place. The last game they played Everton and they got dominated and they lost 3-0. They had not too many chances. They were actually quite poor in front of net as well, especially creatively. Did not create too much. Moving on to Tottenham. They've been alright this season. Form-wise, they've been pretty off. Last game they played Brentford though, and they won 2-0. Xavi Simons finally got his first goal for Spurs, and people have been flaming him because he got signed in August. In this game, he got his first goal, and he's got to play in that number 10 position. In my opinion, it's where he thrives. He's a very good ball carrier, and he could score goals from outside the box, inside the box. He's just really good centrally on the pitch. Now it's good to see that Thomas Frank, he adjusted his tactics and his style this game, so Spurs looked a little bit more lively going forward, and they even got a clean sheet to top it off. But my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Tottenham. Moving on to West Ham versus Aston Villa. I have a feeling this game will be a lot more tight than expected. So let's get started with West Ham. They've been doing not the best this season, if we're being honest, sitting in the relegation zone in 18th place right now. Their form has been alright, you could say. Like last game they played Brighton, they drew 1-1, but Areola was having quite a insane game with huge saves, helping West Ham get a point. West Ham could have won that game, honestly, but Bowen's goal was an interesting one. I've not seen that kind of goal. It was like a slide tackle shot. He slides in and he hits the ball while sliding on the ground, and it goes bottom right corner. But on to Aston Villa. They're doing very well this season. They've really impressed me, especially with their rough start, and they are currently sitting in 3rd place in the league. Last game they played Arsenal and they won 2-1 last minute. Buendia came on as a late sub and he scored the winner. Now Aston Villa, I gotta admit, they looked really good in that match. It was kind of a end-to-end game. Both teams were playing quite good football, but they are now actually in the title race, which is crazy to say. But my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Aston Villa. Moving on to Brentford versus Leeds. This could be quite a decent match, so let's get started with Brentford. They're doing not too bad, honestly. At the moment, they're sitting in 14th place, which is okay, I would say. I would consider them more of a underrated team. Like Igor Thiago has been one kind of a signing for the club. He's been scoring quite a bit of goals. Now, last game they played Tottenham and they lost 2-0. Thomas Frank, he came back to face his former club, and yeah, he won that one. So they were unable to do much as they were kind of shut down offensively. Tottenham really did well to close Brentford down, and Brentford only managed to get one shot on target, which is kind of poor. Now on to Leeds United. They're doing not the best this season as well, although things have been looking like they are getting better. And I gotta just remind you guys, this team is really good attacking wise. We've always known this in the past when they've been in the Premier League, and now especially. Now last game they played Liverpool and they drew 3-3. Leeds United were 2-0 down and they made an incredible comeback to make it 3-3, and Calvert-Lewin has found his goal scoring boots. He has scored in each of his last 3 games, so he's on fire at the moment. Now this team before Liverpool, they managed to beat Chelsea 3-1. So they are really putting up some very good fights in these matches against pretty big clubs in the league. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Leeds United. It's going to be an upset. Moving on to the last game, Manchester United versus Bournemouth. This game, honestly, I expect it to be quite a good one. So let's get started with Manchester United. They've been doing pretty well this season. They have surprised myself and probably many others, because at the moment they're sitting in 6th place. United fans must be happy about that, because their club has not been in that position for, I would say, 3 to 4 years. The last game they played Wolves and they smoked them 4-1, fully dominating Wolves. It could have been at least 5 or 6 goals as well. Bruno playing a key role, getting a brace in that match. So the overall football in this game, it was flowing very nicely in Man United's point of view. Now on to Bournemouth. They have been doing not too bad, but in my opinion they have dropped off in terms of form recently. They started the season well being in like 4th place in the top 4, and then they dropped down all the way now to 13th place. So form has been a little bit poor in the past few games, but they played Chelsea and they drew 0-0 in the last game and they took a point. I would say it's kind of a positive. It was a very even game. If you look at the stats, it was like 11 shots and like 4 on target. I mean, Semenyo has dropped off in form as well. He started the season very well and was one of the top goal scorers in the league, but I think Andoni Iraola, he's capable of turning this kind of run around, and he's done it before, I believe, so I know he will do it once again. So my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between the two. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions for these matches as well. Don't forget to subscribe as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.